Album review. Today's album is Stormzy, Heavy is the Head. Today, we're joined by Aidan.
Heavy.
Myself, Denver. Joe.
The Head.
And Will.
Yo. This album has a lot of emotion behind it, right? I feel like everything I'm going to say, right, everyone's just going to go fucking ham on me.
I completely agree.
No, well, I've never agreed with you.
Never, yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I've written quite a lot down for this,
Perfect.
so just prepare yourself.
Oh, wait, all right. I'll sit back in my chair then.
My trouble was I also wrote a lot of notes, but the notes were smudged by the tears from my emotions.
Man,
For fuck's sake.
Denver, I can't even bring myself to laugh, but that was really good.
Thank you.
Like, I'm telling you, as a friend, that was a good joke. I sound further away because I am. I've sat really far back.
I'm ready.
He's ready.
Ready for Will to just ramble nonsense for half an hour.
No.
This album was different.
Pure emotion.
Pure emotion.
Not enough
Right,
screaming.
Denver, I'll be honest. I think you've used the joke too many times now.
Yeah.
I'm asking for your comedy badge back.
Okay.
Where I was going was, you can tell what he's saying actually
Can
means
you?
quite a lot to
Sorry.
it.
Right, stop right there.
Can I? Why am I getting interrupted?
Continue with your review. It's going really well so far.
It's more like a monologue.
You can tell what he's saying actually means a lot to him.
Suck your mum!
Michael.
Bear with me. Bear with me. Let me hear it all out.
He hasn't even started and goes like, more like a monologue. He said 4 words. You're like, fucking hell.
Go on, Will.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm sitting back now.
Right. You can tell what he's saying actually means a lot to him. And I think a lot of rappers aren't that good at showing emotion while also maintaining like a decent flow. So I feel like a lot of artists in rap kind of lose that when they're rapping because especially if it's like upbeat, it just you can completely lose like emotion with a lot of rappers. Where I feel like he can maintain that, which is quite good. He's seen as like the king of grime in quote marks, but like, and I think that's because his first album, Gang Signs and Prayer, is the only grime album to ever reach #1. However, from this album, you can definitely tell he's like swaying away from it, with a lot more hints of like R&B, soul, and like pop, which obviously I prefer. Which is why I actually picked this album because I think it's a lot more. I feel like if you listen to the other album, if you hate this one, you'd hate the previous a lot more.
And had you heard this album before? The album review type of thing.
Yeah, I've listened to this before. Yeah, I listened to it when it came out because released it. I don't think it was too long after he'd done the Brits. I might be wrong.
It came out before the Brits.
Came out before the Brits.
Came out last year.
But is that when he headlined the Brit? No, not the
Headlined
Brits. What I'm talking about. Glastonbury. That's what I'm talking
Glastonbury
about.
was
Like
before this.
Yeah, it came. That's what I'm on about. When he came out not too long, or just like the year after the Brits. Hence the actual
what the fuck
album.
are you on about the Brits?
The fucking the Glastonbury. It came out a year or whatever.
It came out several months after Glastonbury.
Okay.
It came out after the Glastonburys.
And in the album cover, the bulletproof vest thing that he's holding, he actually wore to the Brits, and Banksy actually made it for him. I think the fact that he has made this, his music does go from like grime to R&B, is hence why he's classed as like the biggest name in grime, because he doesn't just stick to it, which, if anything, goes against like grime, and I think a lot of grime fans.
Brilliant.
Hello?
What's going on here?
Hello, Joe?
Yeah, I'm back.
What's your mic done?
Are you on an aeroplane now, or?
No, there was a child crying in the background, and I didn't want anyone to think that I'd kidnapped.
No. This isn't the issue. Your mic is now fuzzing like crazy.
We've got mad feedback from.
Oh, yep.
So I guess we just got to deal with it.
Give me a sec. Oh my god, why are I literally fucking broken everything? Oh my god. I'll be a sec.
Classic Joe.
Just continue with your review.
Yeah.
To be fair, it probably won't get interrupted.
Oh.
I don't understand. What did he? Do you think he unplugged his mic? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
You're back.
Is that better?
Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah, man.
okay.
Where was that? I've been interrupted so many times now. I don't even know
You
where
were
I am.
talking about him coming from grime, but then I
Yes.
was about to interrupt, saying
He's dirty.
I'm pretty sure he defines himself as a child of grime.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Grind
As
baby.
in, he was born from grime.
Yeah, like his area. I think
Like
East
that
London is like
That's all that he
their
listened
culture.
to.
Yeah, it's like his
Ah,
culture. But he's
that's
now become. He brought it out of the limelight though. Like no one. Obviously, a lot of people listen to it. I think like WHOLESOME was a huge name in grime.
saying Stormzy made grime.
No.
He brought it out like to mainstream media.
I don't think that's the thing.
No,
I mean, it is because
yeah,
he's literally the only one who's ever got a #1 grime album, and it wasn't really until him that like grime was really talked about. It's been like huge ever since. However, because of this, a lot of grime, like proper grime fans, I was reading,
proper grind.
aren't too keen on Stormzy. So like Wiley, hence why there's a song called Wiley Flow, and it's kind of a bit of an argument against Wiley. Wiley comes out and says, "Oh, Stormzy's like fake and everything because he doesn't just do grime," which is bollocks because he's like obviously going from different genres, if you know what I mean. Like he's taking elements of all. Why should that be a bad thing?
It's weird because Wiley's been doing grime, and then this new guy comes along, aces it, and he's just a bit jealous.
But the thing is, Wiley's done things that aren't grime. He's got fucking songs with like Shakira and all this. So I don't get
But
it.
Shakira, big grime fan.
I mean, this is true. You got people like Tyler Carter. He does metal, but he also does children.
Fuck me.
Have he told you?
Yeah, that's
so
rough,
bad.
isn't it? I was like,
So
oh,
upsetting.
we
We've talked about him so
pirated-
much.
we basically advocate issues. We're like their biggest fan. Fuck you, Tyler. What the fuck?
I was actually looking forward to potentially seeing them next year, and then now it's like,
He's not even in the band anymore.
We fucked it.
Well, I apologise earlier
Oh,
for trying to call you out on the Stormzy facts. You were
Well,
right.
oh.
what Stormzy fact did you call him out on?
That Stormzy didn't bring out grime.
Yeah, he really did.
He did, yeah. But apparently, there's grime comedy channels.
Yeah, because
Oh.
grime's so hilarious.
Yeah, Channel U commissioned the first grime comedy series in 2002 called The Boo Crew.
Anyway, so I went out on the streets and I didn't get stabbed.
And it was named the best scripted comedy in
Sounds fucking
2017.
hilarious, boys.
Oh, that wasn't, but something was. People Just Do Nothing is a mockumentary series. It parodies UK garage. Sorry,
Can I? Yeah.
No.
Big Nasty.
I think his story in general is pretty cool, and how he has kind of come up from that, and like how his first song was it like "Shut Up" or whatever on his first album, which is like classic grime, and I don't like it. But the fact it was like a YouTube video, and it just kind of included like all his mates in the video, and that's kind of how it all started, which is kind of crazy. I know, like most artists now have just like weird start, but I think it's quite cool how he's now become. He only released one album before he headlined Glastonbury. Like that's insane.
Didn't Post Malone do that as well?
No, he's not
Last
headlined
time.
Glastonbury.
Not
He's not
specifically.
even played Glastonbury, I don't think.
I don't mean Glastonbury in general. I'm saying, didn't he bring out one album and then like headline a major gig?
No, he's still like it wasn't
Oh,
really. He, like even when I first saw him. Sorry,
Stormzy's better than Post Malone?
not necessarily, but he's like in
No,
terms of
achievement based. Well done,
Achievement?
Stormzy.
Well, he's
Probably,
British,
yeah.
so that means he must be better.
Yeah. UK.
Oh no,
at the
it's
same
England
time,
now.
obviously Post Malone's a lot bigger in America than like Stormzy's main fan base is obviously Britain.
Let's
like, huge,
compare the
right?
net worth here.
Go on. But everything is bigger in America. You know, bigger buildings, bigger country, bigger people, the whole shebang.
Oh, huge. Okay, here we go. I've googled their net worth. This is according to Wikipedia.
Right?
Who do you think has the higher net worth, Stormzy or Post Malone?
Post Malone.
Yeah, I'd probably say
We've got
Malone.
we've got two for Post Malone. What you saying, Joe?
I'm going to say Post Malone as well.
Ah, you're all wrong. It's Stormzy.
Fuck.
Right, who's got bigger net worth, Stormzy or Lionel Richie?
Let's have a look. Lionel Richie.
Come on, Lionel. I'm putting
my money on Lionel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Stormzy.
Come on, Lionel.
Wikipedia's not telling me. Okay, I'm just going to.
I know, but his net worth now compared to when he was like,
net worth 2020. What's it saying?
I think Stormzy's probably richer now, though, right?
Nah, fuck off, Lionel Richie.
Okay, Lionel Richie is apparently 10 times richer than Stormzy.
Yeah! Hello!
I guess it's because it's like over time, his like investments have probably built up a lot
Lionel
more.
Ball is money in Cineworld.
Oh my god, is that Lionel Richie on American Idol? Is he one of the judges?
No.
No, he is.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Is he?
Oh my god, I never knew that. I never knew that was Lionel.
Yeah,
I
see,
thought
he's had a
Why are you
lot.
watching American Idol?
Lionel Richie is 71 and Stormzy's 27, so Stormzy's got time to catch up, make some more money.
And he's only done 2 albums.
He done it if we stab him.
I didn't realise that there's actually quite a big difference between posts.
Not with his vest on.
I can't get to him. It's like the arms, neck, and face aren't like they're not viable zones to stab.
Fuck's sake.
There's 6 million difference with posts.
To be honest, though, in the grand scheme of things, 6 million, not that much.
No, not really.
When it comes to net worth, like
All right, it's more than I'll make in my lifetime.
Wrong.
definitely. Sorry,
Crazy
what?
that is, though.
Go on, Will. Carry on.
I think a lot of his music is very honest. Speaking about his depression, stand up for the vulnerable, and I think all his music is very humble. Is able to, but in a weird way though, because it's like he's able to like big himself up and his achievements, but he's also like he remembers where he comes from, and he always brings that up. Like even just like in Rachel's Little Brother, just remembering like he's like this big famous guy now, but he's still just like Rachel's little brother, like still always bringing himself back to earth, kind of thing. And no matter how like famous he is, he'll still like talk about issues that someone of his like how he used to be would have suffered with a lot, kind of thing. There's a lot of like lyrics that I've just like pulled out of this. For example, I think I got it from. Which one did I get it from? Rachel's Little Brother. You'll have to bear with me. Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you. I want to point out that Stormzy's probably the most successful person, other than Abraham Lincoln, to ever have a neck beard.
I forget he rocks the name. A neck beard is like a full stop for the face.
Realistically, I mean, the reason I have a beard is because it helps differentiate my neck from my chin.
Yeah,
I can't tell, and it's just one line that I'm like a thumb.
Yeah, like I was about to say, without a beard, I look like a fucking thumb as well. Like, I really do.
Look like a thumb.
Maybe I should just go chin strap. That will really outline it.
I think so. But like Tony Stark level thin of like a chin strap.
I think I look like Robert Downey Jr. as well.
I think like you look like Robert
Right,
Downey.
you think you look like Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey Jr., who look nothing alike.
I'm like, if you mash them together, that would be me. You know,
Sure
if you put their faces over the top of each other, it's me.
Is that
It's
a
just
bit
me.
like putting J2O and vodka together? Both on their own great, but when you put them together, God, it's awful.
It's like toothpaste and ice cream, isn't it?
No, you mean
toothpaste
orange.
and orange juice.
No,
I bet toothpaste and ice cream is just mintier ice cream.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, AJ.
Oh, toothpaste. You have toothpaste orange juice. Yeah, that's like the classic thing to say, not original. But the truth is,
fine. Toothpaste. It's really horrible together.
the truth is that when you have toothpaste, when you've got toothpaste in your mouth, or when you just brush your teeth, nothing tastes nice.
Also, in what scenario have you ever been
Like,
in where you've brushed your teeth
toothpaste
and
and
eaten ice
sausages.
cream?
So it's like you've had your main course and think, oh, I brushed my teeth. Oh, now it's time for
And I'll have
dessert.
ice cream. Or wakes up at 10 in the morning because it's Joe, and he's just like, you know what, I want ice cream for breakfast.
Like sometimes, like you wake up, you have that, and then you have sausage bun for breakfast. That doesn't taste nice. Toothpaste and sausages.
Well, that's why in
That's why you brush-
in the world of me, I eat breakfast and then brush my
I was going to
teeth.
say that's what I do.
I do as well.
Same.
Yeah,
So
all right,
what do you mean? So
that's
we
what
all
I
do
usually
it.
do.
So why I bring this up?
But
When the fuck have you eaten breakfast, brushed your teeth, and then had a sausage bun?
To be fair, any time for Joe is time for sausage bun.
It was like 3 a.m. Better eat chocolate.
I had ice cream before that.
Right, so it's been nearly 20 minutes, and
Oh,
Will
yeah.
hasn't mentioned a single song yet.
Yeah, every fucking time I talk, you interrupt me.
Oh, you're just boring, Will. Fuck.
Were you
I
researching
thought-
something, Will?
It's been 20 minutes, did you just say?
Yes.
Fuck me.
All right, I'm sat up now. It's serious.
Although it's
Well,
probably
what-
actually a bit less because I probably cut some out. Because this is what normally happens when I say like, "Oh, it's been 10 minutes," but when you actually watch your video back, it's probably only like 6 minutes because I probably cut something out.
Classic.
Right, what's your least favourite, Will?
No, he was
Oh,
finding
fuck
something.
off.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm talking about like he brings up like a lot of his depression and like I say, bringing up things of where he was from the past and standing up for himself. And like I've written down like a couple of lyrics which I thought were really clever. Don't shit me up for this. Shit me up for this.
I thought those were the lyrics.
Like
Don't shit me up for this.
That'd be
It's
a good
like-
lyric.
I'm not the poster boy for mental health. I need peace of mind. I need to center self. I got the cover of NME. That shit made me resent myself. So it's like he's still like acknowledged he has got depression.
Oh, and he has
But
enemy.
while also like he's got an enemy, but he's then still like always bringing himself back to earth. Like that doesn't mean that I feel any better about myself, which is quite like
He just seems very humble, doesn't he? Like when that video that you sent us of him in the interview with David and Lewis Capaldi, like he was saying like he was worried that he'd get something that he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
Like how humble is that?
Oh yeah, he definitely seems like a good guy for sure.
And,
Yeah.
and like, I just love that. Like he's so like huge now, and yet he'll still like he never lets himself get that egotistical. But it's weird. Like he sounds it sometimes in his lyric, like with audacity. But it's never like it's always like he's defending himself. It's never like he's just trying to go at someone first, if you know what I mean. Unless it's like in more of a political sense, but then that's more like even then it's still defending himself because he feels like he has to stand up for the people that haven't got a voice to say that, which I think is really cool. The whole album is just full of like meaningful lyrics that I think just are so important. A bit like Lizzo, but I think like he lyrically he's a lot better at putting it together. And it wasn't until like the final listen that I was like, right, I'm actually going to look through these lyrics so I kind of see what he's saying, because this is the only thing I think that lets him down a bit. On the more like grimy trap stuff, you'd seem to notice the things that he says when he's defending himself a lot worse. Like that, it makes him sound more aggressive than he actually is. Because then when you listen to the more soulful ones that aren't as aggressive, because you don't take as much notice to them, they're actually really well written and really meaningful, which I think is the only thing that really lets down his lyrics and lets down the album is when he does have those like grime ones, such as like Pop Boy and Big Michael, Audacity. I thought all three of them just were like, why? And Wiley Flow. The whole thing of Wiley Flow is like him defending himself against Wiley. And it's like, if he didn't have all that, it's just, the whole thing is just lyrically brilliant, I think. But with that being said, the worst for me was Big Michael.
Big Michael.
I think it's quite funny that he included that, you know, that first bit.
Stormzy blood.
I thought it was like a guy just that hated him, but it wasn't. It's actually like a massive fan of him that just who sent Stormzy a video chat of him saying like, when are you going to release music? For fuck's sake, just release music.
What made you think it was a person that hated him?
I don't know, because I couldn't really tell what he was saying the first time.
Didn't he call him a dickhead?
Yeah, and like stuff like that. It sounds quite aggressive.
I kind of like it though.
He spoke about it in a podcast. I watched it. I should have sent it really in the chat, but he did like a whole breakdown of the album and like how different things were involved and how he talked about different things. And I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize until I watched that that it was just a fan that sent a video saying like, "Come on, release the album for God's sake," because it does sound just quite aggressive. But while I appreciate that, I thought the song in general took like forever to even start.
I mean, 10 seconds isn't forever.
And the general,
it is if you get hit by a bus.
The general backing was quite annoying, I thought. And once the flow actually got going, it was all right. But it took so long to get there that it was quite distracting. Third for me was Vossi Bop. Right, while the lyrics
Come to the candy shop.
The lyrics are nowhere near as strong as like the majority of the songs on the album, but it definitely like for me has like probably like the catchiest flow in general. It's like really vibey, really easy to remember, and it sticks in your head even if you don't really want it to, compared to some of the rest. 'Cause it's just simple, it works, the flows are really nice, and it's a great way to end the album because it's like a nice homage to himself and his achievements to end the album, but while also I don't know. It's like he's actually appreciating what he's just made. If that makes sense. Second for me was 1 Second, which is a bit unexpected, but it was just I think out of the whole album, it's one of like probably the best written. It's super powerful. It speaks of how no matter how famous he is, he still will fight for what he believes in, while also saying he doesn't want credit for it, and that others do. I think I already read the lyric about the thing, what he said. Yeah, I did.
Hey, Will?
Yes?
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but so far you've basically brought what the lyrics mean in the song.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, like...
Yes, I will. I am going to come to that.
I just mean, it's just like a generalised thing. It's just like, you're supposed to be listening to the music, not necessarily the meaning behind it.
Well, that's the thing. You have to listen to that because the whole thing is like rap is almost supposed to be poetic, right?
That's part of the problem.
Yes, and I will agree with you on that. Just let me get to it because.
Well, you've had half an hour to get to it.
Well, to be fair, I got interrupted for 15 minutes of that,
and I'd interrupt you 15 minutes more.
I also think I don't know if you say her or HERs, but her vocals are really nice over the track, and what she says proper pulls you in and makes you want to hear what Stormzy is actually talking about. I feel the whole thing's just very like chill. But first for me is actually Rainfall.
What?
Yeah, it is generally Rainfall. I think it pretty much defines what the entire album is. Each verse kind of has elements of every song, in the sense that he bigs himself up of his successes while acknowledging that his upbringing and the people around him, and then it has like different flows of like R&B, but then also having like grime. It's like a combination of like everything he kind of wanted to put into this album, I feel. And whoever that Tiana Major 9 is, like her vocals on the track were really good and like quite unexpected. Like at the end of that nice like soul flow to like end it all, which I thought was really nice. And it's just like really catchy and probably the best melody on the entire album. Own It I thought was going to be in my top 3, but like there's no like real meaning behind it. And the only thing that's really good about that song is Ed Sheeran, and it's like,
and even then he sort of raps in it.
Yeah, and it's not like strong lyrically. It's just kind of it's like a very easy, simple pop song that, while it sounds nice, there's not really like anything behind it. Right, to go on to what you were saying, Aidan, about it can't just be about them, it actually has to sound good. You're 100% right. And that's like why it drops a bit. I feel like if it didn't have like these grime things to ruin it, and it had, I think as well, because a lot of it is reliant on lyrics and not the general flow, or like sometimes there's a lot where the songs are lacking the contrast to kind of really bring out this album. It becomes very much like a background album. Like it's hard to listen to it just on its own, like in a car or whatever. But if you put it on in the background, it's really nice to listen to because it's kind of just chill and appreciate it. But then at the same time, if you don't just listen to it on its own, you wouldn't like listen to what kind of the things he's actually trying to bring up and say.
Which would be the main selling point of the album.
Yes, exactly. So it's like its main downfall.
I guess you could say Rainfall.
But I think it's weird that it's like a grime artist and considered like the king of grime, but I think it's the grime songs on this album that actually let it down. And I do think because of that, it is slightly too long as well, and it's hard to hold your attention when you're only listening to it on its own. It's lyrically like super poetic and really well written, other than the slight like the grimy lines that I don't think are really needed. But in general, a really good album, a lot better than his first album. I think he's definitely like heading in the right direction. And for his second album, pretty fucking impressive. So there you go.
Thank you, Will.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, it's me.
Hey, Joe.
It's my review. Stormzy.
Mm.
You know what?
Yep.
You know what?
Go on.
When I was a young boy,
Okay.
Oh god.
I always saw Stormzy on the TV. Maybe not a young boy, but you know,
Probably not.
about 5 years ago.
Right.
And you know, I always thought this guy's cool.
Mm.
Never listened to his music though.
Right.
How did you see him then if you'd never heard his music?
Well, I saw him on TV.
Pretty sure he was on the news for several muggings.
You know, he was on with Phil and Holly.
Yes.
Was he?
You know, at
Was
one point. Yeah,
Was Phil trying to chat him up?
probably.
Yeah, no, Guy.
I'm actually kind of weirdly attracted to Stormzy. He's a very handsome guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very likable.
Oh, that was really
Yeah.
bad.
You know,
Get rid of that.
I mean, you know, I'm not much inclined that way, but he is a pretty attractive bloke. You know, he's quite nice, and I'll tell you what, I quite like his music as well.
Fuck me, I was not expecting that.
It's all right.
That's a classic Joe thing to do.
It's all right. You know, I think the thing is with this album more than anything is I respected the fact that unlike KSI's album, where I was like, I can't understand how anyone would like this. With this, I can understand that if you like this type of music, this is probably the best it gets. You know, I could be completely wrong and like ignorant by saying that, but
no,
like,
did really well.
but like by listening to it, you could just think, you know, this is the good type of this side. Yep. But what?
I was going to say, it represents his genre in a good light.
Yeah,
a lot better light than a lot of the artists do.
And where it wasn't just random words, all the lyrics were like carefully curated. Is that the how you say it? You know, they were carefully put together, and it all had a very not all of it, but the majority of it had well meaning. You know.
Yeah.
So and I actually really struggled to find the least favorite song because I pretty much chilled with it all. You know. And it wasn't bad. I tell you what, I started it on Big Michael, you know, because it's the first song on the album. And that was the song where I was like, oh, here we go. But then that song started bopping with me towards the end, you know. I was like, it was the one that kind of got me pumped, you know, for work in the morning. Because, you know, I drive to work in the morning. So that's the first song that came on because I started the album, you know, first thing in the morning. And it was cool to get you pumped for work in the morning.
First thing in the morning, 9 o'clock.
Would you like to say morning more time?
Morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is because there's obviously quite a few featured artists on this. Yeah, he's not the best singer in the world, is he?
Whoa.
No.
Whoa, what are you saying?
Yeah, he's not. He's just not. And I was like, you know, in the song Crown.
Yeah, but I think he knows that, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I think that would have been much better with a singing artist.
It's funny you say that, actually, Joe, because I would disagree.
Yeah.
I would say Crown is actually one of the better songs on the album, and almost all the featured artist songs, the featured artist only makes it worse.
So here's the thing: is I'm not saying Crown is a bad song by any means, because I really, really liked Crown, and the bad singing almost kind of complemented.
I wouldn't say it's like bad singing, but he's
not bad singing, but it's not good either. You know, it's like a weird in between.
It was one of the few ones where I could kind of understand the message more because of how he was saying it, rather than just the normal like rap style he had.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, I think a backing singer would have made some of these songs a little bit better. Is what I think.
If you had someone who's vocally stronger,
yeah.
But then I always think like you wouldn't get that same like hurt in his voice if it wasn't like him him doing it, you know, because you can kind of tell like with the way he sings it, it's almost the same sense of how Joel sings it in.
Yeah, it's like you can hear the pain in his voice.
Yeah.
Don't you ever compare Joel to him?
Oh, for God's sake! But you know
Jesus
what
Christ,
I mean?
that laugh sounded so
ever.
fake.
No, but it's that
Totally.
same sense of like.
Fuck you.
I feel like if someone else sang that, you wouldn't get the same feeling of what you do, and you can tell like it, like I say, the pain in his voice. But
Joel is like Stormzy.
Dead.
Joel.
Stabbed.
Yuck, no, brother. My fields.
So, saying that, I'm not going to take as much time.
That's Will.
As well.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
that
like
wasn't
taking
my
about 10
fault.
minutes at the moment.
I wrote 4 pages of notes, so
Well,
which
that's
is the most I've
why
ever
it's
written for any of it.
My least favourite was Don't Forget to Breathe.
Because you kept forgetting.
Yeah, I kept fucking hyperventilating because I forgot to breathe. Wait, that's the exact opposite, isn't it?
Now you're breathing manually.
Now I'm breathing too much. No, it's not exactly bad. It was just a bit of nothing. Obviously, it is an interlude song, so I can get that. But you know, I feel like it had no purpose in this album. You know,
I mean, I think meaning-wise, it did.
yeah, but albums don't really need an interlude. You know,
Why not?
well, that's
Yeah, it's
more of
quite
like,
a nice
that's more of a
little-
show thing. You know, it's more of a show thing.
Well,
I
Stormzy
think
is
it's
the
because,
performer.
right, here's what I'm realising with like the 1975 and their like interlude songs. Is
Yeah.
that they sometimes put these songs on the album because maybe they're worried, like, if we just had this in the live show, what if people are like, oh, I like that interlude, I want to listen to it, but they can't because it's only in the live show. So they put it on the album for the people who want it, and for the people who don't, they'll just skip it. It's only because with our album review format, if you have some weird ass interlude, does it actually sort of hurt it? I guess for most general people, they're just skipping it.
Yeah,
Well, you're not thinking businessy enough. If you deliberately leave it off the album, people will buy tickets to see the show again to hear the interludes.
I don't think they'd like it that much.
I think they love it, Denver, and
Having
they're
said
coming
that-
back to see the interlude.
I love the 1975's like intro thing, but it's terrible just on the album itself.
I'm not exactly saying it's a problem. I'm just saying, for me, you know, all the rest of the songs had such a deep impact, and then that was just a bit of nothing. And I think that's fair.
I mean, yeah.
Go on.
In terms of impact, the whole idea of that song is like, again, for mental health. But
Yeah, I get it.
so I get what you mean. It's like in terms of things,
Not much happened. Yeah.
I might have been a bit of a Denver listening to this album because I've took away very little meaning from most of the songs.
It's
Even though
big
that
enough.
was the entire point of them. I just struggled so much. Maybe I should have just looked up the lyrics after, like you did, Will, but like didn't think about it. I was just like, okay, it's done, it's over. I've listened to it 3 times. Let me go do something interesting.
But at least then we've got 2 perspectives, you know, because like if someone's listened to it solely for the music and then others are listening to it for the vocals as well, I guess you get 2 different
I
perspectives.
think Denver's going to surprise us this time and tell us that he hasn't listened to the album.
I just read the lyrics, actually.
He only read the lyrics.
And it was a great poem.
Man, maybe we should do that.
Is Being Nasty a rapper?
No, being nasty is an emotion.
The comedian, isn't he?
I thought he was a comedian, but if you type him in on Google, it says British rapper.
Yeah, he is a rapper. Big nasty.
Yeah. I love Big Nasty. It's so cool. We should do Big Nasty.
Do you mean nasty?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's Nasty.
What?
It's Big Nasty.
It's his thing.
How's it spelled?
Nastie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Nasty.
That is the
It's not
worst
like that
thing I've ever
purposely.
heard.
He's actually called Tyrone Lindo.
Classic. That's such a classic name.
Yeah. I just thought, I'm surprised he's not on this album, you know? If he is a rapper, which he is.
He doesn't do grime or anything.
Well,
He's a comedy guy.
Hold on. Big Nasty. Grime? Yeah, it literally is grime.
If you listen to it, it does not sound like grime.
Neither does this, really.
David and stuff. Well, true.
So,
But I think
There
Big
you go.
Nasty stuff hasn't like got that. Actually, I can't say anything. I don't know anything about Big Nasty's music, so.
Oh, nice. He pressed the brakes. Good job.
Actually, if you type in Big Nasty, the first thing that pops up is people also search for Stormzy and also Tiny Temper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tiny Temper's gone into grime, hasn't he?
has he?
Yeah.
What did Tiny Temper used to do?
It was like songs like Calvin Harris, Miami to Ibiza, Written in the Stars, Frisky with Labyrinth. It was all like pop.
In the Stars. Oh man, good times, eh? I mean,
Girls
Written in
Like
the Stars.
Stars.
But the best part of that was the chorus, which wasn't Tiny Temper. So
Yeah.
So, my third favourite, speaking of good backing singers, was 1 Second, featuring H.E.R. H.E.R.
Yeah.
H.E.R.
I think it's her actually.
Sorry, you're right.
Well, you're in primary school.
Yeah.
My name's Aidan. No.
Yeah. Do you know, I was going to say that earlier, but I couldn't remember what the alphabet was like that. Why do they ever teach you that?
Because it's like the sound, isn't it? The sound of the letter.
It's more because that's how you pronounce them in words.
Kinda. And then there's just, because we're English, there's so many exceptions.
God, what a terrible language, English.
Just awful. Let's all learn sign language.
I did not realise how big her is as well.
Is she quite big?
How much does she weigh?
11 million monthly listeners.
You can't
That's
ask
quite
that.
skinny.
You can't ask that.
One of her songs has got 565
All
million.
right, she made a song with Pop Smoke.
Rich.
I love Pop Smoke.
Right.
No, I don't. Yeah. So you guys know I love chill beats, and that was a chill beat.
And do we know that you love chill beats?
Yeah, like
Well, metal, known for being a chill beat.
no, because like I'm a big fan of like the lo-fi stuff at the minute, which is why Pretty Venom All Time Low was like in my top 3. You know,
It did all time so long ago, though.
well,
So I wouldn't say recently.
Well,
All time low was April.
Just for a long time, then I guess. I don't
Okay.
know why you gotta be so specific with the times.
You know, I like to call people out, Joe.
What, you like All Time Low? Name 20 of their songs.
Name 20 all-time
Now
low
sing
songs.
them. Now sing
Could
them.
you sing them, but sing the music without lyrics?
Sing the melody.
Ha!
That was Humpty Dumpty.
Hold on, I've learned how to do a trumpet recently.
Go on.
Because of my nasal, so I can do like.
The fuck was that?
That was a
It
trumpet.
didn't sound anything like a trumpet.
I'm just
I
saying.
didn't do it great because I had a bit of gristle in my throat. Let me try again.
No, please.
No.
I'm so upset by what you're doing. This makes me really sad.
It's a trumpet.
It's not.
My God. This
You're
album
a
review is so long.
You're a grown-ass adult. Why are you trying to make trumpet noises?
I bet you can make like motor car noises with your throat and stuff, can't you?
Okay, do that as well.
I can't do it when I'm got.
These are literally the worst.
I can't do it when I've got an audience.
An audience? Aren't you literally in your room on your own?
It sounded like Joel.
You know.
No, keep going.
Second favorite was Crown. Because again, chill beat. Wasn't sure about his vocals at the start, but then it went into just the music and just the beat. Everything came together in that song. I really liked it. But my favorite was Own It. Yeah. Because I feel like all artists involved in that song did a really good job, that being Burna Boy, who I've never heard of before, and Ed Sheeran.
Aren't those the things that you use in secondary school science?
No, that's Bunsen burners.
Burner Boys.
I called them Burna Boys.
I don't think you did.
But it kind of had the most catchy kind of vocal hook to it. I don't think the music was as good as Crown, but I think it had like the catchy. It was the most memorable for me. Basically, is the end of that.
Thanks,
So,
Joe.
in conclusion,
Thanks, Joe.
decent enough album. I'm not a massive fan of this type of music, so I can't say it. It really took me away, but I can respect that it is very good for the music for that genre.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem.
I found this album difficult because it's very much about what it's saying and not how it sounds, because nothing sounds that good, but it doesn't sound bad either. It's not like, oh, it's hard to listen to. But at the same time, it doesn't involve me. Like, I like a song to feel like it's pulling me in and I want to be a part of it, whereas this was kind of just happening. Like, so I don't really like the genre. It's not really my vibe. I can like some rap, but usually I like a rap bit as an accented part of an actual song and not just this, essentially. Although I do think his actual rap voice is good, so I think songs featuring Stormzy, like on an actual song, obviously claiming that these aren't actual songs, would actually be alright. Like I wouldn't see a song, oh, it's featuring Stormzy, I'm gonna hate it. Kind of like, I wouldn't think that at all. And also, when I was doing research into him, he's like actually a really clever guy. Like, he did really well in school, despite at the same time always being kicked out. Like he got like 6 A stars at school.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Like he's sort of a naturally quite clever guy. So I feel like the lyrics, like I said, the only one I really noticed the lyrical messaging was Crown, because it was just where he was actually trying to sing it rather than rap it. Which, even though it doesn't sound great, for me it was one of the ones I could actually understand it without looking it up, because I don't really read the lyrics on many songs. And I'm like, the song isn't involving me enough to want to find out what he's saying. So I'm kind of just bored by it. So the messages were just kind of lost on me. And then, so hence I didn't really find anything that engaging. Another note I put was that it's called Michael, which is obvious now, because he mentions his own name a lot. So it's like, who is this Michael? So then I Googled him, I was like, it's his name.
Wait, hang on a minute, isn't... Oh, no, not Ed Sheeran. What's his name? Eminem. I was just like, isn't he Michael? But he's not, he's Marshall.
Yeah.
Isn't Ed Sheeran called Michael?
Probably.
My least favourite song was Pot Boy, because I fucking hate
H.
Like, I say I hate him. I don't know the guy. But his voice is the affinity of chav. Like,
right.
So anytime I hear him, I just think, what a chav. Like, I think it's because chavs like his music. Like, just...
Right. You are stereotyping again here, Denver.
Yes, but that's how I feel, so I hate it. It's like, oh god, it's this guy.
I can't help being racist.
Yeah, saying someone's a chav isn't racist.
It's not racist, but it is.
Well, that's like
it's definitely stereotypical.
I can't help that. I can't say that.
Well, I don't think Stormzy's bit's that great, and 80 should just think has like, oh god, I just can't stand listening to him.
I can understand that. He has like a very a specific voice, doesn't he? And his tone is very
specific voice, like he's from the suburbs of Grimsby.
Yeah, basically, like
he's from. I think he's a Scouser. He's Manchester. He's from Manchester.
They're all the same.
Just them ruffians, you know.
Them damn hooligans.
So H has done quite well for himself.
So I just wasn't a fan. It was nearly going to be Bronze, was my least favourite, because at times I was like, what the fuck is he even saying in Bronze? He kind of mumbles his own lyrics a bit. But yeah, Pot Boy was the least favourite. Top 3 was really difficult to get a top 3, because a lot of the songs I was like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not my thing. Like, I don't...
Quite sterling.
Like, none of the music itself isn't very drawing, and I'm not really focusing on the lyrics. And don't have an interest to, because the music isn't drawing me in enough. But I went with Do Better as my third favourite, because it had a nice flow. It had some cool like backing harmonies, but it is a bit repetitive. But the music was quite nice in that way, because it was sort of flown. It had this almost not like a choir, but I don't know what you call it, just other people singing generic like.
You know what's quite weird is I thought that was the most like 1975-y song on there.
What, Do Better?
With like the random like singing, but like scaled up to super high pitch and stuff like that. Like super 1975.
Do you want to know what Stormzy said about that song?
What did he say?
Why is he sat next to you?
These are the words I would love to hear. A lot of the time we do this whole stay strong. And a lot of the time, I feel like we need someone to say, I know everything is okay, but I'm going to need you to do better. The thing is, I always used to do was like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm good. So it's like, I know you're good, but I need you to do better. That's what I needed to hear. I needed to hear someone tell me that. And I hope someone hears that in their headphones and it soothes them.
I didn't. I heard,
I could argue it's the top song for being a song because my other favourites were kind of my favourites for just like niche reasons.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there was so little difference between a lot of the songs to me. Because like I said, none of them were. I didn't really hate many of them. Didn't really enjoy any of them either. Like none of them I added to my like favourite songs. Like not a single song album. Second favourite. Big Michael, Suck
Big
Your Mum.
Suck Your Mother.
Nice.
I found the song quite funny, and the trumpet is a bop. The trumpet.
Joe, can you give us a rendition? Thank you.
And I quite liked that song just for the sound of it, and I found all the lyrics kind of funny. So when it came on,
this is where Will tells you it's about like really deep.
Sorry, which
shit.
song was that? Sorry,
Big Michael.
Big Michael.
Big Michael. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's a bit of an ego song, that one.
so it put a smile on my face listening to that song. And then number one is Superheroes, purely because of the Tracy Beaker theme tune.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Reminded me of Better Times.
Talks about it quite a lot.
Have
you seen the music video to that? I mean, again, that song has loads of meaning, but
no, I didn't. Right, so normally I do my final listen with the YouTube videos, but I selected audio only, and it wasn't until the very end I was like, hang on, I haven't seen a single music video. I think I've been on the wrong thing. So no, I haven't seen
the music video to that only came out last month.
Right.
And the whole idea of that song is all about black culture and kind of big up in like young black kids and that to kind of speak their mind and stuff. And in the music video, it's been quite famous because he released it like a week after Chadwick Boseman passed away, and he put like Chadwick Boseman like as a big tribute thing to it.
Bowman!
You son of a bitch!
So, just a fact for you again.
Rip Bowman and Boseman.
So yes, that's my review. Not terrible, but just not my vibe. So didn't really.
Boom.
Cool.
Pretty much, yeah. Denver's review is my review. Just copy and paste that shit.
Okay.
But not obviously not the top ones because I had different meanings.
Hit us.
Well, I mean, I might. Right. So I looked up to some facts for this album. That's right, I did it. Vossi Bop and Own It both reached number 1 in the UK chart. Crown was in the top 10 at one point, and the album actually debuted second in the charts, and then eventually went on to top it. So this album topped the charts at one point.
Yeah.
Fucking how? How the fuck did this album get to number 1 in the charts? Are you shitting on my ass?
Wow.
What the fuck?
Did you not like it, or you just don't think it deserved it?
Well, no, I didn't dislike it. I'm just like, what the fuck?
People love him, don't they?
People love him, but like, I don't know how people love his music. I think he's awesome. I think he's really funny and like genuinely very charismatic and humble and super nice. But I'm just like, there is no way in hell I'd listen to this. Trying to decipher what he's saying is like trying to hear somebody from 100 feet away while you've got a car engine revving next to you and someone's got a blender in your ear.
I think it's proof that I think that proves that like personality sells, you know?
No, definitely, absolutely. Which is why we're doing terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
How many Glocks have we sold?
All right, let me just check. Hang on. None.
Shit. No one's used code CT to get their free
I mean,
Glock.
we're giving them away. Right. So let me just obviously start off with the good stuff. All the songs, while still rap, are actually relatively unique. I'm sort of saying all as a loosely term because there are a few like pinpointed in there, just generic grime rap, same shit, different day kind of thing. But the ones that are unique are very much different from each other, which is surprising in a genre like this. Rap music is often the same. Not only that, obviously, like I say, please do not interrupt me again with your disgusting shit.
All right.
So we got like obviously oh fuck, I've completely lost where I was.
It's your fault.
It's my fault.
It's your fault, yeah.
Sorry, do your review again.
You shouldn't have my coughing.
Sorry, go on.
You're the one who stopped.
I'm gonna fucking stab you. You better put on a Stormzy vest.
Oh, I already got it on, mate.
Basically, yeah, he's just like I like obviously his lyrics do have meaning when you can actually hear them. He's just like super humble. He's just like all that good jazz. Obviously, he suffers with a lot of mental health and stuff like that, but he has defeated it. Or you know, as a relative case, everyone still has bad days. Don't give up. Do better, as Stormzy says. Just don't be depressed anymore. Just do better. Do better. Yeah, so I respect the hell out of what he does, but like because it's not my jazz, it's not my vibe. I'm just not really that bothered about it, kind of thing. The worst song was Vossi Bop. Backing lead line melody is really creepy and sounds like a 50s carnival.
Yeah, you don't like those, do you?
Hate them. Hate anything from the 1950s.
Did you hate the Wii Carnival games?
The Wii Carnival? Oh, what? The Wii Carnival was in...
No, it's like
Actually, no, I didn't. But then that wasn't really the same.
It doesn't have that like vibe to it, does it?
No,
it's more like the horrible music.
I'm talking specifically the old 50s ones.
Like the weird synth organ thing.
And for the most part, it's always like slightly off. And like, you know, I hate it. I hate 50s.
But you also have a phobia of like wooden lollipop sticks.
I don't have a phobia. I just can't touch them. It makes me gag.
It's interesting.
But then, so does your mother.
Oh.
My third favourite was Own It.
Fuck me! Joe, mute your fucking mic if you're gonna cough.
Why don't you just stop smoking, you prick?
Stop smoking.
Sorry.
Third favourite was Own It. I thought the chorus was pretty catchy and it's got my favourite ginger in it. That's it. That's all I got to say. Second favourite, 1 Second. Has a female singer and it starts with that, so it immediately sells me on the rest of the song.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Awesome. Number 1, I'm going to be a dick here. Don't Forget to Breathe. Funny how the interlude is the best because all the singing, and even though it's not great, it's closer to what I traditionally enjoy in music than any other song on the album. Overall, my professional opinion, suck your mum. That's it. That's my review.
Love it.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Ratings.
Will?
8.
Fuck off.
5.5.
3.
3.5.
Oh.
It scored
20.
Fair enough. Will, you need to calm down with these ratings, sir.
You really do.
8's not that high for what it was.
It's not that high.
I don't think it is.
So you think it's as good?
Most albums,
2 off perfect.
yeah.
The thing is, everyone says it's perfect, like it's a really big
great.
thing.
His lyrics were fucking great. It all felt powerful. There was no like bad. Nothing was ever bad.
Do you think it was good enough to be a 30?
Well, yeah, I think it is.
I mean, he had to stop and think about that one.
He did.
I did, but I think it is generally good
You
enough. to
can't
be
keep
fair.
rating albums on the message behind them, Will. It's about the music.
I think there's only been like once or twice that I've done it with them.
Yeah, but the problem is it's
And
happened
what's
so...
your excuse for KSIs?
Huh?
So what's your excuse for KSIs?
Yeah, I overrated that.
You overrated that.
You
Obviously, we've
overrated
had-
that, but you gave it less than this.
Yeah, but you also had like the
I know,
Liver
but-
album as well. You rated that pretty high.
Yeah, but that's great.
I
And
mean,
again, had great meaning.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. You're a fucking sheeple.
No, this was so well written.
You're a
sheep.
sheeple.
Just
No,
because
it's
into this type of music
not
doesn't mean it's
just
bad.
Stormzy that's writing it. He's got tons of writers on this. You actually look it up. He's got like 30 writers.
That doesn't necessarily. That doesn't mean it's like.
Well, maybe I'm
matter.
saying it doesn't come from the heart.
I think it does. Just because you have people help you write things doesn't mean it doesn't mean. Some people aren't as good as like putting like words together. Just because you have like a second person like overlook that with you. Like he's always the lead writer, so just having like extra people to check over things is no problem.
Well, maybe I think you're diverting from the fact that like you're rating them based on their meanings as opposed to their.
I'm not, because like there was never anything bad on this album.
I think most of it wasn't. It was pretty subpar.
The thing is, though, you could claim, like, in a similar way that rap is kind of about what they're saying, you could somewhat argue that about acoustic songs, though. Like, there's not really much to it in the form of music. It's more what they're saying. So
definitely. But there's a distinctive difference between rap and acoustic, in that you can hear what an acoustic person's saying and don't have to look up the lyrics after.
I don't get understand. You can't understand what he's saying.
No, I think it's quite clear. To be fair.
What do you mean? You said it
very
yourself.
clear.
You said it yourself that you had to go back and look up the lyrics.
No,
So it didn't make that big of an impact on you.
No, I know what like it's hearing what he's saying, but then there's like actually taking it in. That's the difference. I can hear what he's saying.
When it's sang in a soul like a soul punching ballad, it's way different to when it's just rambled off in another verse.
Slower,
I think it is rambled. It's just like I can't just pull things out like that. It's not like that I'm not listening to it or that I can't understand what he's saying. I can understand what he's saying, but I have to actually see things written down for me to like kind of really like take him in. Like, it's nothing against him. It's against me, if anything. But it's like
you're right. Well, it is your fault. So,
and I think nothing was ever bad. It's all well written. The backing was never like just generic. Right. There was like, and considering like you said for like an album like this, like nothing ever really sounded the same, and and that's like a credit as well. It's like it's still well written. There's only like really 3 songs that I thought 3 or 4 songs that are a bit weaker, and that was because of the griminess to them. But like if they were on there, I could have given this a fucking 9.
I was going to say, so the songs that you liked, you would rate near perfect.
Pretty much, not near perfect. Still like really good, but not. I don't think any of them, because I still think they did like a bit like contrast. But I feel like if a lot of them had like a.
But even then, like you say, a really good in my eyes would be like a 7 or a 7.5.
So that's just like, yeah, that is really good. And then like 10 is a perfect. And this was like in between. It wasn't perfect, but it's still really good.
And claiming that the weaker songs are on there, that would surely chunk it down to like a 6 or like a 6.5.
No, because like you can still like, they're like not as good, but they're still decent. Like, and they're never bad. Like it's that. I don't know. I'd say it generally. I've rated fucking worse things than 8. So
I'm not necessarily asking you to justify your rating. I'm just asking you to rethink like the reasons behind rating them the way that you do.
Why?
Because I don't know if necessarily reviewing an album based on the meaning behind it.
That's not the only reason I've rated it like this.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but it tends to crop up that like when we're sat here with an album review and Joe claiming that he genuinely actually enjoyed it rates it a 5.5, and you're rating it literally 2.5 points higher than that.
Yeah, because I genuinely really enjoyed it. I thought the music was all good. His lyrics was always super well written.
Yeah, but is this one going to be another one that you look back on and say, yeah, I rated it too high? Because at the time I felt it's...
I've known this album for fucking ages now. I've liked it ever since the first listen. Especially when he like performs this stuff live. You can as well. It's like...
let's see how it is. It's a live...
While we're making confessions...
Go on.
I rated last week's album too high.
There you go. What did you rate last week's album?
Fucking 9.
Yeah, no, that was not a 9. That was not a 9.
I let my dick take over.
You did. Oh, are you actually being serious? You're not just joking.
Well, no. I do still really like that album, but I then listened to the new album again. I'm like, even though I really do like some of the old songs, and I do think the new, I think both the newer album I rated. So the new album I rated too high. I think the last week's album should have been an 8. And maybe the other one, or the old one, being 8 as well, because I gave it an 8.5 originally. Because the newer one, definitely, like, the better songs are better, and they're just more interesting.
Yeah.
Maturity in music.
I still do really like last week's album, but 9. Yeah, now I think about it, and I looked at other things I rated 9. I'm like, oh yeah, those songs, that was much better. Right, Aidan, next pick.
I think I'm justified for what I've given it. So.
I do not. I don't think you're justified for what you gave it, but that's fine. I've stated my case, Will.
Okay.
You can mull it over. You can completely ignore it. Do whatever the fuck you want with it.
I think I've argued my case back pretty well.
Of course you have. My album that I am picking, because Will told me to.
I didn't tell you to. I said
he didn't. He
it'd be a good idea.
He brought it up, and I was like, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea." It's the new Machine Gun Kelly album, "Tickets to My Downfall."
Yes.
Let's go for the sold out deluxe edition as well, because I looked in the normal one, and it's only 36 minutes long, even though there are 15 songs.
Yeah, and there's some good ones on there.
So we'll go for the deluxe edition.
You see, here's the thing, though. I've heard the album a few times already, and
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was the one who told Will about it.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, because I've heard like a few of the singles.
I like it too, Denver. Fuck off.
Because me and Denver listened to it loads.
Together.
And then,
why didn't you move
I was waiting for the album to come out, and then I didn't actually realise it had come out when I'd picked Stormzy, or else I probably would have picked it earlier on. But then Denver was like, well, I'm surprised you didn't pick it. I was like, I didn't even know it was out. So there we go.
Wow.
Got any closing thoughts, Joe?
Did you know? Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps are supposed to scare animals away.